Greetings and welcome back, everyone, to episode 57 of Into the Nexus, the Heroes of the Storm podcast. I'm Garrett Weinzerl, and I'm here, as always, with Kyle Ferguson. Kyle, dude, welcome back. It's a great week.
It is a great week. The Butcher came in, and it's been chaos, and my games have been questionable all week.
Yeah. Oh, man. Dude, there are so many Butchers out there that are just giving me so many kills. I love it. It's great.
Meanwhile, over on the forums, people are screaming OP at the top of their lungs.
Oh, absolutely. And I don't know. I don't know where these people are coming from, what games they're playing. But I came into this week with the Butcher coming out, expecting just horrified because of everything that Team One from Blizzard has been out there kind of saying and promoting this hero as, just like, he's gonna kill you. Eric Hagman last week being like, you're gonna open your closet seam and you're just dead. It's over. It's done. You're meat to be carved, and just putting the fear of God into me. And this week, it's like actually in the game, it's the complete opposite. It's hysterical. I see him, I'm just like, oh, you fat dead thing.
Oh, here he comes, everybody.
Yeah, I haven't. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. I mean, our buddy Ben's doing pretty well with him. He and I had some sick games earlier this week where he was it Lambs to the Slaughter, the ultimate with the where you chain him down.
Well, Lamb, but yes,
Lamb to the Slaughter. Yeah, he would do that in the vicinity of my my Phoenix when I was playing KT.
Oh,
and it was just absurd. People just dying left and right. It was great. I loved it.
The combo ideas are very exciting. I do have dreams of an ETC mosh pit that perfectly fits over a furnace blast and everybody dies. The sizing is perfect. Throw a Gazlo in there. Why not? Like, let's just go wombo nuts. But no, I'm not seeing anything like it. In fact, I haven't played a single Heroes League game this week with a Butcher on my team or on the other side. Maybe I'm just lucky.
Yeah, well, no, I've only played a few Hero League games this week. It's been mostly quick match. But I've seen some Butchers in my games, both for and against, and the ones in Hero League seem to know what they're doing. They're definitely a formidable opponent. I've played against a few talented Butchers, but for the most part, my games this week have been against people who are clearly just picking him up, as we all are. I mean, he's a brand new hero, but it's been fun, very fun.
He brought Force Wall back, so I've been enjoying Tassadar.
Very nice, very nice. Which is funny, considering some of the vitriol that's been out there on the interwebs against.
This is a bit of a counter conversation, apparently. Our experiences meet in the fact that Butcher has not been a big problem for us.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this week alone, I'm just gonna get right into it. We have to. You found this, and it's amazing. We got to tip our hat to Trixler, man. He's just out there representing. So Trixler, you get a
tip of the hat
from us. So because this week a person I'm assuming got on the forums named Thorax and said, "Wait a minute, Trixler. So you agree that the Butcher is OP? What you just described is overpowered and not healthy for a hero. Also, Force Wall is the most garbage heroic in the game. Still has under 40% win rate and has for months. Buff the goddamn level 10 range on it. I highly doubt you've won a game without Butcher on your team against a Butcher with Force Wall Tassadar. Post game results, please." To which Trixler responded, and I am taking big liberties with my inflection here, "We'll be streaming Brawl with the Blues tomorrow. I'll show a Force Wall game against the Butcher during that segment. We'll be playing against viewers, so feel free to show up and play the Butcher."
Yes. I love it. This was ultimately in response to a post that someone else made saying, Butcher's overpowered. What are you going to do about it? And Trixler coming in saying, well, actually, he's only overpowered 1 versus 1. And if you've ever played a MOBA, that's a perfectly understandable statement. There's some heroes you will never want to fight 1 versus 1. It's a team game after all. But this, of course, just led to the flames.
Oh yeah. Well, how dare you try to fight really idiotic kind of crowd behavior with statistics and reasoning?
Well, that, and you just can't simply do that. What a horrible game it would be if everyone could 1v1 each other. There'd be no team aspect. Might as well have 5 lanes.
Yeah.
Which could come. Who knows?
So overall, I've been having a good week, man. Enjoying the new battleground. I have no idea what the freaking strategy is there yet. It seems to rapidly change every time I get Battlefield of Eternity. All right, let's just dive on their Immortal and just burn it down real fast. And then the next game, everyone's like, no, let's defend ours and fight on top of it. And no one can agree on anything. So half of the people end up going into a fight and they die, and then half end up defending and not getting any kills. I don't. It's kind of a mess at the moment. Still haven't quite figured that out.
Yeah, people seem to be on the fence whether you actually attack or you defend your own. Granted, defending your own is great. I mean, standing in the middle of a whole bunch of stuns that you're not casting at all and they're just going off and everyone's getting their butt kicked, that feels good. But sometimes you just defend nothing and both sides defend nothing. And then you end up meeting in the middle and chaos breaks out.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a chaotic map, but like I like it. I like how chaotic it is. But yeah, sorry, I'm just noticing overlay hiccup there a second. Anyways, did want to thank two listeners who donated codes, a Lily code and a Xeritol code that we gave away last week.
Gave a wee to wee lass.
Give a wee lass. We gave a wee a Lily. Gave a wee a Lily. There we go. So thank you for the Lily and the Xeritol codes. Thank you, David W. and Rob H. They donated those. We gave them away last week. Also, congrats to our patron, Luke, who won the Xeritol code over on our Patreon page. So congrats, Luke. Enjoy your new shiny, literally, because he's invisible and he has that shiny thing.
Hero. That's true.
Use him wisely. He can strike fear into the hearts of your enemy, and you can just look silly if you don't do it right.
It's true.
I'm not judging, man. I'm usually on the other end of that. I'm not good with Xeritol. Not my best hero. Not even close.
I'm up to a flat 50% at the moment. That sounds pretty decent. I'm sure all my losses were because I wanted to feel cool at 1 a.m. And one, I wasn't cool sitting in my room at 1 a.m. playing this game. But two, probably a bad comp.
You're probably really tired, too,
yeah.
to play a hero like that.
Yeah, one that actually can blink and then get a talent where you blink back to where you previously were. It's great, but not the best thing for spatial awareness.
No, not at all. We got another contest going on this week. Listener Josh Muscat donated some of these Funko Pop Heroes of the Storm mystery vinyl figures.
Snap, that man sent me a little Arthas, and I can put him right here on Big Frostmourne.
Yeah, he sent me one too, but I'm going to give that one away, and I'm totally keeping Stitches because I think he's just hysterical. He's just too damn funny looking, and I've already got a pretty cute Arthas from BlizzCon a few years ago, so... thank you, Joshua Muscat. But we will be giving away 4 of these guys, 2 to our patrons and 2 to non-patrons, or could possibly, nothing stopping patrons from entering the other portion of this contest. But basically, we're giving away Arthas and Raynor to a couple lucky winners who post over on our ITN subreddit at itncast.reddit.com. We're going to put up a contest post over there. It's not up yet if you're listening to this live, but on podcast it should be. Then we're going to give away Kerrigan and Tyrael to 2 lucky patrons over at patreon.com/ITN. So thanks to Josh for donating those, and good luck, everyone. These things are super cool.
We have people in the chat right now saying that they got them all, but they end up spending $100. These are these little mystery boxes. You don't know what you're getting inside.
Well, that's Josh sent them because he had a bunch of duplicates. He's like, you guys want to give them away? I'm just like, yes. Why did you ask? Just send them, man.
These doubles are shaming my collection. It's like when you're flipping through your Magic or even Pokemon card binder and you've got like a stack this thick of some crap, like 1/4 crap. Then the very back are a couple of rares you actually want.
You just described my Magic collection, man.
Yep.
Got a couple Planeswalkers in there. The rest are crap. And a couple of crap Planeswalkers, actually, too, while I think about it. But
ooh, those sweet cards that are rare so that there's not too many of them. But they're awful.
Oh, absolutely. I mean... So, anyways, let's get into this week's Heroes of the Storm news.
We're on, boys! Ha-ha! Let's liven up this place!
Point me to the stage.
Stay a while and listen.
I will. Thank you, Deckard. I love it, man. Hearing Deckard's voice at the beginning of a game, and then there's just a treasure goblin running around like, it's just, oh man, just warm and fuzzies. Made us get back and play Diablo this week.
Yeah.
You're feeling the, you can hear that guitar strum when you log into Heroes right now, and just, Man, I just want to go in and kill millions of demons with reckless abandon.
It's a beautiful tribute, really. And the whole screen with the butcher standing there growling all the time, little comets falling in the background that if you click, little treasure goblins go woo and fall out of.
Yeah. So the eternal conflict has begun. That's the big news this week. We got our first new Diablo hero, the Butcher. He is live. He's an assassin. His butt cheeks are hanging out.
Yeah, that's true.
Really creeped me out. I was like, oh, good, he doesn't have nipples. I don't have to deal with another stitches. But he's just got these big meaty haunches hanging out the back of his flap.
Yeah, he has some back rack.
Back
too.
There you go. Yeah,
Bit of a back butt, if you will.
back butt. Well, that is where your butt is.
Well,
I
but
guess not on your back.
extending upwards.
So he has a 4-pack, but it's 4 ass cheeks just in a grid formation.
A number of people upset that he has no interactions, and he actually doesn't. The Butcher makes no interactions because every response is a growl, or a grr, or a meat, slaughter. I think that's about the extent of his lines. Though there is a solid 5-minute voice track of whoever the voice actor is, having at, laughing, gurgling, what have you.
That's so good.
So you won't always hear the same growl.
Oh, that makes me really happy. So I honestly, this is the first new hero I haven't just bought on day one and gotten in and played. And it's not because I don't like him. I really don't know because I haven't played him. It's because heroes I do like have gotten overhauled or had small but pretty awesome changes. So I've just been playing a lot of Zergara and Brightwing, man.
Yeah, for me, it's been a real crackdown on myself this past week, which this is going to sound bizarre for anyone who's been following our shows for a while, but I've gone a little meta on myself, using hot slogs, like only playing maybe 3 heroes in my Heroes League right now. I've had to ditch quite a few that I thought I was good at, I thought were fun, but are not, leading to good win percentages. And Butcher kind of plugs into that weird sort of maybe a last pick, that Thrall, that Illidan, stealthy hole that really only happens when everything comes together, and I don't need one of those for my Heroes League right now. But Kristen did end up picking it up. She joined me for this week's solo Q&A, so it wasn't actually a solo Q&A, but we got to figure out we've been doing a lot of theory crafting together.
You should have called it solo 2-A.
Duo Q&A is what I was thinking, but
that works too.
I want to rebrand it, and so I just left it solo Q.
But 2-A is funny.
I do like 2-A. That is good.
It makes no sense.
Hey, you would appreciate the titles there, man. They've been pretty punny recently. This is Fresh Meat with Friends was the name of the last one.
Oh, that's so good. That's so you're wasting all of our Into the Nexus titles is what you're doing.
And your great overlay pictures. I'm sorry about that. We're pulling from the same resources here. But we've been having a great time just destroying people, trying to figure out the best combination. And the one we sort of landed on is actually Tyrande Butcher.
Yeah, no, anything which Kent Eric mentioned last week, anything where you're locking a target down. Any hero that can lock someone down or stun them pairs well with the Butcher.
My first reaction was actually Uther, but it ended up being that she would often outdistance me using the charge, and I was nowhere close to either healer or deliver the stun.
And then also if you're jumping in, you might body block for that half of a millisecond.
Yep.
Yeah. No, Tyrande is definitely great because it's that range stun that she doesn't need to be anywhere near the target to land.
No, and it's so obvious. He moves at a constant speed. It's not like an ETC dash or even more scary, what we've tried to do with Tyrande Diablo. It's just such split second. He charges. He's going across the map. You have a vague idea of where they're going to meet up. It's pretty obvious. You land the stun.
Oh, man. Craig K in the chat room says he queued into ZP's 5-stack earlier, and they were running Butcher Zeratul, and they just got crushed.
Oh, I bet.
That sounds rough. ZP's team running Butcher Zeratul. That just sounds terrible, but also really awesome because you're like, hey, I know these guys. Imagine, Kyle, you're back in I don't know. Imagine you're just south of the wall in Westeros, and a marauding group of wildlings are coming through, but you know who they are and they're famous, and you're just really excited to see them, and then they chop your head off. There you go.
I'm sure fandom has cost several lives in the wars across the years.
Oh, how many times in closed alpha did we see LZ Gamer, and we're like, we just have to kill him because we know who he is.
Get LZ Gamer.
Every game we ever went up against LZ's team with.
Happens in the after show.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. So, yeah, Butcher's interesting, man. He is scary. I had a game where I was playing as one of the games where I was playing as KT, and I just got annihilated by him, and he did strike that fear into me that I was expecting to see from right out the gate against Butcher players. I mean, if he catches you, man, it's just curtains with someone with so few hit points.
It reminds me very much of BC rogues. Like
That's not terrible analogy.
if there is a fight and they can stand still, they win. You need no other damage. It's really all that movement and the backing out of some whirlwind or something that's going to cost them the majority of their damage.
Yeah. So, I'm looking for. I'm trying to save money is what's happening, and I think I'm just gonna have to break down and buy him.
He's fun. He's very seductive, but we know that Skeleton King is in the files. All they have to do is throw the switch, and here he comes. And that man is badass.
That's the thing too. Like I know I want Skeleton King day one. I can't even, it's just a flavor thing for me. I'm just way more interested in the Skeleton King from a flavor aspect.
Right, and there's always going to be tanks, but do you always need that rampaging, diving melee hero? Not always.
Yeah, maybe you just want to just walk imposingly.
Exactly.
Which is
Strike
what you do with
poses.
Arthas, but for some reason I still just don't find it that interesting to play Arthas anymore. But
Speaking of animations, man, they got it spot on with the Butcher. I love his weapon slams when he's channeling anything. Getting mounted up, taking a tribute, just that like orcish pump that he's got going on.
yeah, no, they nailed it, man. I mean, he's disgusting. And I heard some folks talking like he looked very Diablo, very like old Diablo Butcher, but you know, we played some this week. I think he looks just like the Diablo 3 Butcher.
Yeah, smaller, but kind of has to be. He's about as big as you can make him without being Asmodan.
yeah, absolutely. So after the Butcher, also, obviously, we've got the Battlefield of Eternity. We're not going to spend too much time talking about because we talked quite a bit about it last week. I even mentioned at the top of the show some of the strategical issues I'm having with my fellow pickup game teammates. But I like it, man. Really enjoying it. I like that the pool has been cut down quite a bit. I forget exactly what battlegrounds are out again. I know Dragonshire is one of them.
Yep, and Mines is the other one.
Mines. So I'm sad to see Dragonshire out, but I'm more than happy to see Mines gone for the time being.
Yeah, I need to sit down and get some therapy about whatever's happening on my Sky Temple, because that's just awful.
Oh, you having bad Sky Temple games?
Awful, man. I'm at 33% win rate right now.
Really?
Yeah, it's a mystery to me, but I really like Battlefield of Eternity for what he's doing, the whole map is doing for specialists, because you can kind of win that game just with flat damage. Like Zagara, extremely powerful on there, able to drop her hunter killers on the actual immortals. Gazlo's looking real good on there. Not so much hammer, you got to be able to move around a bit, but can outrange the stuns that they put out. Butcher's incredible though, because you get on the immortal, you're standing still, go nuts.
Yeah, I've noticed that, at least lately, I feel if you want to really succeed in Sky Temple, the issue I've noticed a lot of players are having is positioning during the temple phase.
Yeah.
I don't understand people who, with any objective in this game, don't stay on the 50% side that is closer to their exit towards their structures.
Right, and sometimes you have to be like, all right, let's all, trade places here. Tank, you on that side. We'll let the tank zone. The rest of us will deal with this. The specialists will actually, take care of with their roaches or whatever have you, the actual objective. But that's just basic positioning, and that's not something that an MMR can really tell you, or a league is going to inform you about. That's just sitting down, watching your replays, really calling yourself out when you end up overstepping or... We watched a lot of StarCraft back in the day. The one thing I call myself out every time I do it is mistargeting and hesitation. If I wiggle and I didn't get anything done for 2 seconds because I went, whoop, 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 there's nothing worse you can do.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Every freaking little basic attack counts.
Yep.
So, yeah, I don't know. Lots of people going in deep during those temple phases. It's just driving me up a wall, man. Drive me up a wall. So, but We'll see. Well, we'll do a Sky Temple tonight, Kyle, and we'll win.
Okay, sounds good.
I promise.
Wow. Promises.
There are also some hotfixes that went live just today. They resolved an issue that could cause heroes affected by Diablo's overpower to fly outside the battleground's playable area.
This has been
not seen this, and I wish I would have.
I've seen so many videos of this. It's if while he's lifting them up, Diablo dies, they just exit the playable area and keep flying forever.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
This is like a physics just bug.
I guess so. Something about the momentum they gain during that pickup just sends them into space.
That's so good. Murky also can no longer move or cast abilities throughout Octograb's duration. There's one of these bugs I wish I knew existed before it got fixed, because that would have been fun to exploit.
Oh, I came running to Kristen last night and said, dude, have you heard this? Like, it's an undocumented change. And you could actually, throughout your Octograb, you would still dive to the person, but for the duration of it, you could run around, you could cast Slime, you could cast your Pufferfish if you happen to miss that cast before you started the Octograb, which is a huge damage combo. And it works so well, I could have sworn it was an undocumented change.
Huh.
So maybe some developer out there thought he was going to have one sweet night together with Murky and just kind of left it in.
That's amazing. I like to think that that's what happened.
Right?
And Cat Jack in the chat room is saying that there's a hotfix rolling out right now. Another one.
Interesting.
So that's interesting. If you see anything good in there, chat room, post it. We'll read it. And then damage dealt to warriors by neutral mercenary camps will no longer be tracked under the roll column on the in-game score screen. So that's the new damage taken statistic we are seeing on warriors when you tab.
Right. So in the past, you would have checked tab, seen siege damage, and that would tell you if everyone's missing from the minimap, they're clearly taking camp somewhere. Well, they fixed that this patch, but they left the damage taken. Warrior somewhere unknown taking damage, you can figure it's a boss, you'd go get him. So that's completely gone. They do not want you using tab at all. Only your intuition and any abilities to scout that you have to see if someone's taking enemy mercenary camps.
Which you should still be using tab to see talents, though.
Right.
So keep doing that. Don't stop doing that, folks. There was also a slew of undocumented changes, as you mentioned, and the fine folks over on the Heroes of the Storm subreddit have compiled them for us. Thank you. First up that we wanted to mention is Brightwing's, her Soothing Mist. The cooldown was reduced to 4 from 5, so a whole second cooldown off of Soothing Mist. And the healing amount, though, is down to 32.5 plus 7.5 per level. Pixie Dust now has 2 block charges instead of 1, which I love. I love this to pieces. It's
Pretty
great.
big deal.
Yeah. And Blink Heal now has a 2-second cooldown between using charges, up from 1 second. And that does feel like a lifetime when, when you're in that game and you're pretty damn sure you can save that warrior's life by blinking into the giant fight.
Yes, I've seen it happen.
Yeah. That's even less of a good idea now because you can't pour it out as quickly.
No, you can't really spam it, but I do feel like this brings Blink in line with Emerald Win, since it kind of got the nerf with the days changes and all.
Yeah, absolutely. I have to say, overall, really like Brightwing's changes. I'm really missing Protective Shield, as I thought I would.
That was a huge change to her early game, but late game, I'm not really seeing any problems with Brightwing.
Nope. No, she's still really good. Unless they just grossly nerf teleport, I mean, her map presence is so strong and always will be. And it's already gotten a sizable nerf. It had a massive addition of time tacked onto its cooldown quite a ways back.
Across all the healers, I'm so happy with the changes. My support is really Malfurion at the moment. I'm so happy they took away Conjurer's Pursuit, because that means I can pick him basically on any map now, instead of avoiding him on those token few that you can't really get orbs on. Like, Battlefield of Eternity is awful for orbs. Spend so much time fighting over that center.
It's a little better if you win the Immortal fight and you get the 2 orbs.
There are 2 there. Yes, that's true.
But, oh my god, if you lose it, Conjurer's Pursuit is so pointless.
Yeah.
It is such a bad talent to take on there. So it's rough. I have trouble with KT on that map, man, because I have serious mana issues.
Because you were in that middle fight for so long?
Yeah, absolutely. And taking Mana Addict just doesn't add up if you're not getting each and every single immortal. And if you're getting each and every single immortal, who gives a crap? You have a little extra mana, you're probably winning the game.
I don't think we're going to see KT on much in the future. Granted, meta as it is, people are going to keep playing KT. If you're the best at KT, who cares what map you pick it on? But things like Rain or Valla, like these are all things that are going to have an easier time dodging the immortal stuns and keeping really high damage, winning those races.
Yeah. Nubarak's beetle duration has been reduced by 2 seconds, so it was 10, it is now 8 seconds, so a little bit more of a nerf to his beetles on top of the other damage reductions and whatnot that we saw.
The movement speed is really the painful one.
Yeah.
I even take less damage with Locust Swarm and say, fine, yeah, that was completely overpowered, but seeing my beetles lag behind escaping heroes is a bit sad.
Yeah. I guess the stream must have hiccuped for a second there. Chat room is picnicking.
Oh.
Lots of picnics.
What's a picnic?
That's panic.
Oh.
Picnic. Because why would you spell anything correctly?
On the internet.
Yeah.
My favorite one is spoopy, though. That's my favorite misspelling on the internet right now.
I can't say I'm familiar with that one.
Too spoopy for me. It's when you're so scared that you can't spell spooky correctly.
Okay, that is kind of funny. I want to sidebar for a second. I think Twitch chat misspellings is dumb, and I want Leet Speak back because all of Twitch chat misspellings aren't actual keyboard misspellings. They're like purposely just spelling something wrong with keys that aren't anywhere near the actual keys you're trying to type. And it's driving me up a freaking wall.
Then you just, like any language converter, you just go over to the converter for Leet Speak. I mean, who actually took the time outside the very first time you type Leet Speak to actually write it out with the numbers?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. It'll always be pwned to me.
Yep.
Johanna, Condemn now has a different function. It pulls the enemies a X distance instead of grabbing them to the center all the time. So this is a bit of a nerf to her crowd control.
I thought maybe I was interruptible when I played yesterday because if you get caught on the very edge of the vacuum, you only go about halfway in.
Really?
Yeah, it's a set distance. So she catches you in the meat of it, the middle of it, you're right on top of her. But if it's that very edge, you don't actually touch her.
Huh.
So decent little nerf to her.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
It's still a mini stun, absolutely. It pulls and stuns, no daze tech or anything like that.
Well, that's good. I like this change then. If they got rid of the stun, I'd be a little sad. Sylvanas, she now gains XP when she possesses minions, and the enemy does not get XP from killing said possessed minions. And also, your regen globes work the same way. So if you possess one of the little wizards, you get the regen globe, I'm assuming?
Yep.
That is so great. I love it.
Yeah, decent little buff to that ability. And if you're sending free un-XP giving waves at the enemy towers, that makes it a little more viable. In fact, there's a bizarre strategy going around with Sylvanas, mostly solo queue. The kind of people who get in and say, let me do my thing, I'm roaming Sylvanas, and everyone panics. But they're actually taking level 1 corruption, the one that basic attacks destroy tower ammo, which sounds like the stupid. I think we've even called it one of the stupidest things on Earth here in the show. At some
because
point.
you have Black Arrow already. It's not using the ammo to begin with, so who gives a crap if it's destroying it?
Exactly, but you're roaming. So you run down, you lock down both towers, take away all their ammo, and then you leave. And that lane is now taken care of.
That is
and then you go to a different one, and then you really start investing in sort of the, whenever you use your Haunting Wave, you get stealth, and you can cast it twice, and all that sort of stuff. But it's all about deep dives, escape, and destroying ammo.
You really have to trust the rest of your team, though, to bring the fight. Because come 20 plus at the end of the game, when there's no more towers to kill, you're going to be a very gimped Sylvanas damage-wise.
You'll always get out with that stealth and 2 casts of it, though. I've seen this thing work, and it is horrifying. But you do have to have kind of that Abathur-friendly comp where all 4 other people are on top of their business and ready to fight without you.
Gotcha. That sounds really cool, though. I love seeing new strategies, and especially things that aren't just all focused on team fights, because that's where everyone's head's normally at. I feel like the general community here, but that's really cool.
Well,
I want to try it now.
Yeah, that's just going off of what you remember, though, because you're playing a game, you remember, what a good game that was, and the one thing that really stands out to you was that ETC, Gazlo, and whoever else threw in their ult, explosion that won you it. But there's all those little tiny steps along the way you forget about.
Yeah, absolutely. There's some changes to AI as well that were undocumented in the new patch. Enemy AI in co-op mode will now choose from more characters. People are thinking might be all of them, so that's cool.
It does have an AI for Abathur and Murky now, but they are awful.
Yeah, so that's cool, man. Get in there and co-op it up.
They're they strategize. They're real good on Battlefield of Eternity, actually. So I guess it's the freshest iteration of that AI.
So you mentioned King Leoric being data mined. Let's talk about that for a quick second. His entire kit is up over on heroesnexus.com.
Talents and all, and people have already posted their builds that they're going to use when he comes out.
Yeah, I would take all that with a grain of salt because no one's actually used them, so they could be crap. But
well, and we're all waiting on the sideline saying, yes, this is going to be my hero. I'm going to destroy. But because we can't click on enemy heroes throughout the game, I feel if you don't do the research, everyone has a really skewed view of who has what health and how much damage an actual ability does. Like, I'm looking at Skeletal Swing, 120 damage at level 1. That sounds hot. Is it? Probably not. That's a sixth of a Tyranda's health?
Level 1. Because it's saying here 300 damage.
Right, it baselines it out.
Gotcha.
So you can see the 110 plus 10 per level in there. So I guess it'd actually be 110 damage.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah, that does seem like a lot for a tank out the gate. I mean, well, I don't know. I was gonna say, if he's as slow moving as it looks like he's going to be, you need to add something in there to make him somewhat threatening. But you know what? Johanna more or less hits like a marshmallow, and she's a pretty slow moving tank too. So
yeah, it's seeming like Leoric may be more along the lines of Diablo, where you I guess that's a wrong statement. I definitely believe that with his March of the Black King, his ult where you make 3 skeletal swings and become unstoppable during it. This is basically zone control. It's like lightning breath. Waste all your ults on me and all your stuns because here I am being loud and proud. But you also have Drain Hope, which is probably the biggest difference between something like Diablo, who has no sort of abilities to regain health or mitigate damage. And that is you just latch onto people and suck the health out of them.
Yeah. It says it can deal up to 25% of your target's maximum health as damage and heals you for that same amount of damage dealt. For 25% of your maximum health. So at the moment, it won't matter who you use this on. You don't need to prioritize tanks if you're afraid of dying.
Exactly.
And this is over the course of 4 seconds, and you have to stay close to them. So that's why it's up to 25%. If you don't stay on top of them for the full duration, you're not going to get the full amount of damage and healing in.
And we can theorize all day about how these line up, but the real glimpse we get out of this data mine of all the abilities, all the talents, is how his trait works. When you die, you become a ghost and resurrect upon reaching full health. Your main abilities, Skeletal Swing and Drain Hope, become Ghastly Swing and Drain Essence, both of which do 0 damage. But slow people, Ghastly Swing, you are dead, you are a ghost, you do 0 damage, but you're slowing people by 40% for 2.5 seconds.
That's insane.
That sucks. Can you, put every map out of your mind, every lane combination? Just think about Tribute. Think about a dead Skeletal King dying on the very first Tribute, coming up in about 8 seconds because he's damaging people, and he's already there. He didn't have to walk from the spawn point, slowing people. He's going to be cool. It's going to be painful.
It's gonna lead to some really interesting counterplays. I feel like in the scenario you just described, like my first gut reaction is, well, we should all just, if Skeleton King goes down first, we should all just back up for a bit and just harass until maybe someone overextends and we get another kill off someone who doesn't persist as a ghost after they die, and then try and take tribute. Because that sounds terrifying. Yeah, and then in a non-objective scenario where Skeleton King dies, I feel like you should just evacuate the lane where he is, because he's not going to be finding you quickly anytime soon.
Yeah, so on those particular maps, you'll want to take this level 1 talent, Reanimation. You gather health globes, and the regeneration you get from them lasts when you die and helps you reach maximum health sooner. In fact, you have a level 7 sort of first aid ability that can be used while undying. So in a tribute situation, not so much. Another map, he dies, everyone out. Like, just ignore him, let him go lane or something until he can get back to full health. But otherwise, we're just going to delay him as much as possible.
Yeah. Yeah, really, I mean, we're always horrified looking at new heroes without actually playing them or playing against them. So there's a lot of things here I'm afraid of. Like, I'm afraid his lane presence is just going to be ridiculous even when he's dead. Possibly causing you to fall behind an XP because you don't want to be in lane with him, so because he could potentially slow you and set up a gank for someone else. But we'll have to see.
Clown Baby, it was Pink Ghost in the chat room asked an important question, and that is, I hope his attacks don't cause interrupts while gathering objectives, and they don't.
Okay, they don't. I would assume they wouldn't, but
I'm making that assumption as well, but I'm saying they don't because Thrall's ultimate, where he throws down a massive slow, interrupts nothing. So just applying slows with no damage to anybody has never interrupted anything in this game.
Yeah, which also they made all those changes to Uther where you couldn't do that anymore, but he can't even attack anymore, so...
There is no damage to be done as Uther, as a ghost.
Right. So I can't imagine that, because that would just be so insanely overpowered.
Right, exactly.
So, bring him on, man. Just flip it on next week. What are you guys waiting for? Come on. What are you doing? Kill me now. Do it. That's all I've got, man. There was a hype trailer for Heroes of the Storm quite a while ago where we saw a really sweet-looking, dark, kind of undead-looking horse mount thing. And we now know what it is. It's been data mined. Once again, over on Heroes Nexus. Malthael's Phantom is what this thing is called. It is a very, very, very pretty, cool-looking mount. Comma between pretty and cool. Not pretty cool. It's pretty, and it's cool. It's just a sweet undead charger, man. I'm gonna be. This is Arthas's new mount.
Oh yeah, that looked good on him. I guess it's more of a shadow charger, but wearing armor. It is definitely cool. From all the times Malthael rode his steed and Diablo. Well, I guess Tyrael's getting a mount too, and Rainer's getting. So I'll just forget that point.
Yeah. Oh, dude, the Tyrael mount looks great, and it's funny because that exact mount exists in World of Warcraft, and I love it.
Nice. That's a good tie over.
Yeah. Well, it was I think for getting the first Diablo 3. Yeah. I think that was the cross promotion. Anyway, it's not looking like we're gonna have to buy this, which makes me excited as hell. The data mine says that it's an unlock from a Diablo / Heroes of the Storm cross promotion event, much like we've seen with a lot of the other games recently, with the Hearthstone card back, the Hearthstone card back mount, etc. It's looking like that's going to be the same thing. The only thing that wasn't data mined is what the achievement is, what you have to achieve in Diablo to unlock this mount in Heroes of the Storm. So far, none of the achievements we've had to do, though, have been totally insane. So I'm assuming if you've played Diablo for any notable amount of time, you've probably already achieved whatever they want you to do.
I'd assume it's kill Malthael, which is basically the same as reach level 100, play 100 games of Hearthstone. Like, have you downloaded and do you own the game?
Yeah, or you could just reach level 70. It could be that.
Oh, that's true.
Because it's reached level 100 in World of Warcraft to get your Warlords of Draenor mount. So I would assume it makes sense, but we're not sure. All I know is this is a sweet-looking mount, and I can't wait to be riding around on it. It's
going to be awesome. I'm happy that they continue to be a bit giving with some of the mounts recently, and I hope this continues.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's good. I mean, it I don't know. I feel like it builds goodwill because there is a lot of negativity out there about the prices and how expensive some of the stuff is in this game. So it's nice when we get stuff for free.
Yeah.
And get rewarded for being loyal Blizzard fans.
Exactly.
So I like it. It's something people have been asking for forever, and we're getting it. And I don't think unlike like Tavern Brawl, where it's free content and everyone should just be happy about it. I'm actually seeing complaints about it. This is free content that I don't think I've seen any complaints about.
No, why would you?
Yeah.
Completely optional. Though I do like getting my free pack every week, so I have no complaints.
Yes. No, Tavern Brawl's fine. It's really fun. I was just expecting something different. There were a lot of interviews this week with a lot of different people, including on our show last week. A lot of Team 1 folks getting out there talking about the game. And we have links to, looks like 5 or 6 different interviews with multiple outlets. lots. Wow. Did you hear that?
What was that?
That was a firework. Someone's setting off mortars.
Oh, nice. Well, you got to be ready, 4th of July. 2 days away.
Me. It's like, oh God, is that a gunshot? Oh no, it's July 2nd. I know what's happening.
In Florida, you'll probably hear an ambulance in a couple minutes. Some poor lady.
From someone who's older than me having the same reaction.
Exactly, but their heart can't take it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh no, my heart.
Oh, heavens.
Oh, please give the dog next door that never stops barking a mild heart attack. And I don't want anything bad to happen, just so it's quieter.
I can't hear the dog. We're good.
Yeah. Oh, it's actually been quiet right now, but Saturdays at the crack of dawn. It's great. It's great when I want to sleep in. Yeah, let your dog outside. Just let it bark incessantly, on and on and on for 2 hours. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. My bedroom window is facing your backyard, you jerks. This ends Garrett's tirade.
It was a decent one. I've got a cat, so it still wakes me up though.
Oh yeah, I have 2 of those as well, and a Chihuahua, and it's me getting through an entire night sleeping is a rare occurrence.
Specially evolved to sound just like a crying baby. I think my cat has, and it scares the crap out of me.
That's. Do you just wake up being like, "When do we get baby?"
Oh, just the heart immediately starts going. Just some sort of chemical that goes, "There's a baby in trouble," shoots into my brain.
That's great. Anyway, back to the interview palooza. We're going to talk about some of the highlights. It was mentioned that after Butcher, Leoric, and Monk, they will move on to other Blizzard franchises. No more Diablo heroes for now, but they may return to Diablo afterwards. That's big information. I assume there might be someone after the Monk.
Yeah, hidden in there perhaps. I mean, we're getting a Malthael Charger, maybe, perhaps. That would have been the next hero. I think we're all looking forward to that guy.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Whirlwind around, doing that circle fire thing, little clouds with skulls overlapping each other.
I really want the Wizard, but I mean, we've got 2 mages in the game already, so I feel like the Wizard can wait. But
now, the Skeleton King actually has a data mined file where he accuses the Wizard.
Ooh.
But again, here they've said it. The Monk will basically wrap up.
You know what that means? That means that they just wanted to get everything out of the way with that, recording session with the voice actor.
It's true.
It could be used in 2 years. Well, we don't know. At least that's what I think it means.
Yeah, they have a very long-winded plan, but I'm sure some of the earlier hero picks, they're probably calling Clotworthy every other week and going, "Oh crap, we forgot another one."
And he just says, "I'm in," because he's an awesome man. He is Jim Raynor,
living the life.
Yep. We're also getting a second Diablo-themed battleground, which we knew, but it sounds like we're only getting a second Diablo-themed battleground before we're moving on to the next game or the next event.
That's pretty big because we haven't heard anything about it.
Yeah, I mean, they did say that there was going to be more than one battleground.
Right, and we did hear that these event battlegrounds might be retooled later down the road, so we could actually see, Hive Mind versus something StarCraft Battlefield of Eternity with basically the same mechanics.
Huh. That's interesting. I'm not against it. I mean, we have that in Dota. Winter comes and we get snow all over the map.
Yeah, no, particularly if they took it out of rotation, they remove mines, Dragonshire like they did, those come back in the future as redone StarCraft maps, Warcraft maps. That'd be pretty sweet.
Oh, I mean, mine is just hey, it's what's the oh my god, why am I blanking on the name? What's the Brill? It's Brill from the Undead area.
Sure, or you have to run into the lab and get biomass for the Zerg Queen.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, bring it on, man. That sounds great. They said that the Monk's choice was meant to fill the gap of not having a Diablo support hero. He's very mobile. A lot of the community has been asking for him, so that's why they're doing the Monk, which makes me happy. They're listening to us, man.
Yep. We want to complete those quests, double them up.
Yep. Give me a darn angel, man. I want an angel healer. Just want to be running around being an actual angel healing people.
Yeah, we all want hope, but not coming this time.
Yeah. The Monk on the trailer uses quite a few animations from actual abilities, apparently. So.
Sure, well, we saw one of his ults with the 7-sided strike.
This is all the more reason I wanted to question Ken Eric last week about how much of a healer he actually is, because he just looks like a giant ass kicker in the trailer.
I love the reaction we got on the videos, the Reddit posts of people just being like, and oh man, if Charisse wasn't sitting there, we totally would have gotten some gold.
Oh, I love this. Is great, folks. Everyone listening, we don't have a name for, because we call Angry Chicken fans cluckers. We don't have a name for Into the heroes of Into the Nexus.
Yeah, there you go.
You guys are amazing. Like, all of the feedback and tweets we've been seeing this past week after Ken Eric was on, they've just been hilarious. They've all been really nice and like, I love it. Everyone else is like, oh man, my YouTube, the comments are so mean and terrible. You guys are just like, so many people leave comments just to compliment. There's like no conversation, nothing. It's just like, this was awesome. Thanks. Like, so thank you for that, guys. We do read them and it does mean a lot to us. So thanks. Anyways, moving on. Voice chat's being worked on.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that one. More on that later. Observer mode is on their plans, but no timeline. That makes me so freaking disappointed. I want that bad, really bad. I hate getting into a game, wanting to wait to play with you because you're already in a game and I can't watch your damn game. It's in Hearthstone. Granted, it took a while to get it in there. But Dota, man. Dota 2 is out there. It has had this forever. You should, like, this is just a feature we expect.
The Dota client is amazing, hands down. I mean, that thing, oh my goodness, it's up to 15 million at the moment, I believe. At least come yesterday for their finals. That's going to be quite the thing. And the fact that if you watch it from home, you can watch it in the client, move around the screen, click whatever the heck you want. It's beautifully done. And we only hope Blizzard catches up.
I feel like I try, and I know I fail to not be an entitled gamer. But this is the one thing. It's just like, I really expect this. This is just par for the course for MOBAs now. I mean, I'm surprised. I'm surprised it's so far out that they don't even have an idea.
Sure, like something I do in these situations, go pick a piece of technology, a microwave, a TV, look it up on Wikipedia and how it works. Okay, cool. That's what they're like inventing over there in programming land. I have no idea how you do it. My bandwidth's ready to go, Blizzard, but...
Yeah, no. Exactly. They also said the gender swap on characters like Diablo will likely be skins. New heroes would be kind of confusing. I'm down for that. Bring it on. They also mentioned Illidan, which I don't know why you would gender swap Illidan, but I'm all for it.
Because it would sell, dude.
Well, also there's a really sweet piece of art out there of gender swapped Illidan versus Arthas.
Gender swapped Arthas?
Yeah, it's female Illidan versus female Arthas, and it's a piece of fan art, and it's really well done. And normally I'm like, all right, I've seen enough metal bikinis, but that just gets me, man. That just, for some reason, I'm just like, I don't care. I will buy sexy Arthas. Bring it on.
Well, certainly, I really want the Diablo characters to have skins.
Well, especially the ones that actually have both genders represented across multiple games. We've now seen a male and a female Diablo. I would love that in the game. I think the Diablo 3 version of Diablo is a wonderful design. And I would play a lot more Diablo if I could play as that model.
It is cool. Got a master skin, though, so I don't know if I'd give up the prestige right now. Maybe they can finally answer the question of what gender Murky is with one of these skins. Or maybe they just mess with us more and give him a shirt and we're still confused. Shirt, no pants.
Shirt, no pants?
Yeah, because his master skin's wearing pants. So I'm going, okay.
Yeah.
So are we doing Mickey rules here? Or are we doing Donald Duck rules here, where if you have a shirt and no pants... But then again, birds don't have bladder control, so it'd be a real mess. So I still don't know what Murky is.
I want that now. That sounds great. I'm sending you a link, by the way, because Iskande posted in the chat room. You can see this piece of fan art that I'm referencing. It's like totally ridiculous metal bikini crap going on, but I just love this piece.
Sure, why not? DeviantArt it up.
Oh, yeah. It's craziness. Did you get the link?
It will ruin the overlay if I click.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, I appreciate you abstaining then. Thank you.
Save it for later.
Yeah. They discussed having a thumbs up and thumbs down system to evaluate players after the match, so it's looking like we're going to get a new commendation system. I like this. I don't like that they're just saying they're discussing it. Like, just get to work. Go. Because I feel like the system right now that is only... complaining when people are jerks and not having an option to commend someone for not being a jerk, it leaves something to be desired.
Yeah, I kind of feel like it's just going to be those little podiums that are inside of airports, like Walmarts right now, where you go into the airport and in the bathroom there's like this little thing standing there and it says, rate your experience with the little happy faces. But for the life of me, it must be Wi-Fi or just complete bullshit, because I see no plugs, I see no cables going on. Where is this information going? Or is it just like lethargic, like people are going, I freaking hate this bathroom, and it's going yeah, I complained, I feel good about my day.
Oh, that's so good.
Lots of people are pointing out the issues of a thumbs down system. We all want a thumbs up system, and then the report function in the background. Maybe make that report function a little more visible for those who don't know to click the gear to go down the list and find report, file it under harassment. It's a little complicated, but positive reinforcement, absolutely.
Well, and I feel like if you have both a commendation and a report feature, that you could make it a lot more obvious at the end of the game. You could have all 5 of your teammates pop up and like report command, and do all that. I mean, that also might push some people to report people who they shouldn't be reporting more often than not. So I don't know if that is a good solution or not. But.
Right. The big example of being thrown around is you're the solo player with a team of 4. You didn't listen to whatever psychic waves they thought they were broadcasting at you, and they end up collectively reporting you.
Yeah, which I feel like is
I don't think
scenario.
Yeah, those situations I don't think happen enough to actually reach the level of getting banned by Blizzard. Those are isolated situations. Sure, you'll have some on your account. If you could see them, I probably have some on my account. They're not going to total out to anything.
Yeah. No, I'm all for it. Maybe just have the command come up and you do have to go into an extra layer to report or something.
The cool thing about this is they expanded in the interview about this idea and talked about grouping similar players together. So not only in a toxic setting, I mean, we have a levers sort of jail. You have to play a game in quick match all the way through until you can get out of there and go back to Heroes League or whatever you were doing. But also that people who were tagged aggressive by the system would be placed with other aggressive people. And all us sensitive little flowers would be eventually migrated into our little picket fence area. And we would play with other sensitive flowers.
But I'm not a sensitive flower. I'm just nice until you poke me.
Right, and maybe they'll make a little room for you.
I'm, what if you're reactionarily aggressive?
Right, so we'll make like a don't tap the glass container that these sort of people can go in.
This guy's perfectly normal human being until you call his character into question.
Yep.
Then he becomes Jason Voorhees. Getting better. I'm working on it, man. I'm working on it.
It's a tough thing. It's a tough thing.
They also said that the replay system forwarding, so trying to scrub or fast forward really quick through a replay system, and the reconnect system are kind of linked problems. So they want to tackle them together. And rather than just fixing what there already is in the game, they want to completely revamp it. That sounds great to me.
Yeah.
Because I do not like the current system. Feel free to kill it with fire and build from the ground up.
It's gotten better, but you never want to be disconnecting in this game. It's not a swift action.
No, it is not. And then you come back and all the bad talents are taken and you're just like, oh, really, guys? Come on. What's going on here?
Later on in one of those interviews as well, another developer touched on this idea of thumbs up, thumbs down, and they said they were considering a reward system. So if you actually get enough thumbs up, you may get a gold or XP reward.
Oh, I would love that.
Sure. There's the idea that
nice play. There's not enough of this in games right now, and I can't believe that there isn't. Like,
yeah.
One of the biggest problems with gaming right now is toxicity in any game. Ben and I had a really bad game last night where I made the joke that Xbox Live must be down.
Yeah.
This one Brightwing man was just.
I've been making some jokes about school being out recently.
Homophobic thing you could think to type in all caps, just going, man. And we were winning handily. And he was just going off. So, whatever. Reported the shit out of that guy.
Good.
Yeah. So I'm all for all of these changes to I don't know what would you call this, like behavioral grouping.
Yeah, modification.
Yeah, bring it on. Let's do it. Let's absolutely do it. Moving on to some esports, Kyle. We had our first North America Open this past week for the road to BlizzCon.
We did.
And it was good, man. It was nice production value. I'm always sad when things aren't happening like at a venue, like at a LAN event. But this was still pretty good, all things considered. Congrats to Tempo Storm who took it, and congratulations to their Frozen poster on the back wall. When I say this week, wasn't it 2 weekends ago?
The thing just went up on Blizzard, and these VODs have been nearly impossible to find until Blizzard actually put up the post.
Yeah, I'm sorry. This is actually 2 weeks ago. We were just busy last week with Ken Eric, so we didn't have a chance to talk about it. But yeah, the actual event went down 2 weeks ago.
Still a good event, and I actually did dig for a while and found the VODs for it. Quite an enjoyable finals.
Yeah.
Very bizarre. Quite a few Abathur picks, some Sonya picks throughout this whole thing. Really refreshing bit of esports for the meta at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And man, Tempo Storm, so strong. I highly recommend folks go back and check out the VODs if you haven't seen this. It was a good series. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Before we move on, I just want to thank our patrons over at patreon.com/ITN, where you guys we're so close to our next goal. I can't believe it. So all 161 of you, thank you so much for supporting our show. Really appreciate it. This week's thank you to N. Derek B, thank you to Jared T, and thank you to Bo S. Thank you guys for supporting the show. It's great. It's nice. Feels good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting those cast and games up and put together. You guys have just been so supportive. If you're out there, you love the show, it's a quarter show, help us out. But if not, it'll always be free.
We need to pick out our suits and start finding some nice ties to match our dress shirts. If you guys don't know what our next goal is, Kyle and I are going to start casting a game a month and wear suits and really up the fanfare. I'm going to intro each and every game with this voice.
Why not? It's esports after all.
Yeah, it's fun stuff. Let's take some emails, man. I know we're skipping a bunch of segments, but it was a big patch week, and we've been sitting on quite a few emails. So let's just get right into it.
Darkness stopped calling.
Does anyone else hear that buzzing?
Hold on. Darkness just texted me.
You can send your emails to itncast@gmail.com. Our first email today comes to us from Elaine, and Elaine writes, "Greetings. I recently read a recap for the Q&A from the Australia launch event on siliconsports.net. Someone asked Chris Siggety and Alan Dabiri about whether or not in-game voice chat would be added. The answer was yes. It's being worked on and should be live before the end of the year. I'm curious about your thoughts. To me, it feels like it'll be a cesspool of toxicity. I assume we'll have the option to disable it, but I leave chat on in order to be a team player. I'm thin-skinned, however, and will probably have to disable voice chat, especially because of the occasional volatile reactions to a female voice. Thoughts? It would be nice for grouping up with strangers in certain scenarios, such as people in the ITN channel, but would you use this for random matches? What would you want from voice chat, and how would you use it? Also, I included a link to the recap. Thanks." Well, Elaine, I wouldn't use it. I would turn it off immediately. Like, toxicity aside, which you are absolutely right is going to be an issue, Blizzard has a terrible track record with in-game voice systems.
Yeah, they do.
They've been terrible in the past, but just absolutely awful. And I don't understand the point. Like, why bother?
Laggy, low quality, and in fact, Curse Voice that is pretty recently put out, that thing's incredible. And it actually kind of grabs some of your in-game files, like I was playing Diablo on Curse the other night, and it changed my little profile picture to a witch doctor. And my friends, they were on their characters too.
What is this?
Curse Voice. It's in beta, but it's actually really good.
Curse Voice. Excuse my typing. I have to look this up.
Yeah,
beta.cursevoice.com. Oh, this is interesting.
It's really easy to use. It's
all your friends. Why hasn't someone done this before? And why didn't I think of it?
We awaited Curse to do it for us, just like all our add-ons organizing and downloading for us. And they're just a bountiful well of convenience over there.
Yeah. See, I've just got Skype, and anyone I play heroes with just has I renamed them parentheses heroes. So I just type in heroes and I see everybody I played heroes with and done voice chat with. I'll usually put your handle in there as well as your real name if I don't know who you are. So that's what I've been doing, but this sounds a lot better. But I don't know. To answer her questions of, would we use it for random matches? Definitely not. But what would we want from it and how would we use it? I don't know. If I'm going into a random game, I don't want to talk to people with voice. Period. I hate Xbox Live for that reason. I get into a game of Halo and I just auto mute all. So I'm not the person to ask. I have a very, very pessimistic view of in-game voice chat with random people.
I gotta interrupt. We just reached 1,000. Someone in the chat just did it.
What?
They went over and filled it out. Perfect numbers and all to the cent.
Oh my god. I am so sorry, Elaine. I promise we will get back to your email. But thank you, chat room.
That's awesome, guys. Thank you.
Well, Kyle, we have to pick a game now.
Yep, and we're gonna do it.
We have to pick a game to cast.
But back to the email. Voice chat was in Dota. It worked great. The quality was great, and so everybody used it. When I got in, I didn't want to voice chat because I'm introverted. I don't really want to talk to random people very much, unless we've, somehow connected. And then, so I would just say, hey guys, no mic. And everyone was cool with it. I followed pings. I followed their instructions if they were good. And if someone was breathing into the mic, being annoying, being childish, the group would naturally kind of just take care of itself and say, dude, you're getting banned. Stop. Okay, we've all banned you. We're no longer listening. And
yeah,
it didn't really go any differently than a toxic chat.
I feel like they should put in their commendation system before they launch voice chat.
Sure.
Because that will definitely help a lot, I feel.
Rate this person's voice. Is it smooth and sultry?
No, it doesn't matter. If you're being a dick in voice, you're gonna get reported just the same as if you're being a dick in text. Obviously, I think text logs are a little bit easier to prove that the person is actually indeed being a dick. I don't know if Blizzard is NSAing this up and recording each and every word spoken through their system, but yeah, I don't know.
For customer service purposes, probably.
Oh yeah,
as all those recordings say at the start.
For customer for quality assurance and training purposes, this will be recorded.
I like the sort of Zap Brannigan you threw in the end there.
I have made it with a woman. Inform the men.
It's gonna, yeah. I don't know. I doubt anyone's gonna use it if it does come out. So I think we're all pretty safe, just based off track where we could all be wowed, and it may be everything we want it to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sorry for that Zap Brannigan quote, which is quite possibly one of the bad reactions to hearing a female voice that you mentioned, Elaine.
Which is a shame. And sadly, that's just a cultural thing about video games. It's going to take time to get over. Yeah. Yeah. I look forward to the day where it is swapped and I get in and I think it was an Amy Schumer skit where it was a bunch of like women construction workers catcalling men in New York. It was great. Oh, those jokes are great. Yeah.
It was a really funny skit, and it was also really sad because of the truths it was obviously playing off of for satire.
And, one day we're going to get in a chat and they're going to make fun of us and our genitals. And you know what? We'll get our comeuppance as white men.
Which, let's be honest,
we've had it coming for a while.
Not that hard to make fun of our parts.
No.
I mean, we're not going to go any deeper than that. This is taking a turn for the awkward. Mystic Knight writes in and says, "Dear Kyle and Garrett with 2 T's." Aw, thank you, Mystic Knight. Mystic Knight's email was quite long, so we're gonna truncate it down to this. He's saying, "I am not saying I was winning any awards, but my play as I would often get caught out in the open when trying to help my teammates or killed outright by a stealthy enemy hero. But I was told multiple times that I was reported on top of being called a myriad of colorful and rather unoriginal curse words in multiple languages, I might add."
Oh, wow. That's kind of impressive.
Yeah. He says, I am not a kid, and I can handle the pathetic comments of people who have never learned how to lose gracefully. But I want to know what being reported means, as I've seen that come up a few times recently. Will I be getting a phone call from Blizzard asking me to stop playing Heroes because I'm ruining the game for the so-called professionals who troll the quick matches looking for people to berate? Will I never be able to play with those highly original, overly kind players that went out of their way to tell me I sucked without explaining to me how I couldn't get better?
Whew,
I'm noticing a theme in our emails and just in our discussion today.
Yeah. Well, we're after a big patch. The meta got changed up a bit. We're all kind of a little burnt out from the way things settled with the past patch, and now things are fresh, and we're looking at the future, and these are the big things we want changed. Toxicity.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a big patch full of awesome stuff, and in true fan-run podcast fashion, we aren't happy. We're not going to spend too much time talking about how happy we are with the new stuff and just be desiring and asking for more stuff to be added right now.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's how it. That's how it goes.
Just like that pet dog, I've already forgotten the treat, and I deserve another.
We were doing the patron call-in episode for the Angry Chicken the other day.
Yeah.
And Dills was like, I just found out you guys do wish list on Into Nexus. Why don't we do that on the Angry Chicken? And we were like, well, that's because the whole show is us talking about stuff we game. But back to Mystics Knight's questions here. Well, I mean, if you're unfamiliar with the report feature, if you hit tab and hit the little gear, you can report someone for either harassment, spam, or a couple other things. Harassment being the one I usually choose. Because honestly, I don't see anyone spam. Unless they're harassing me a lot, then I just consider it spam because they're filling up my chat log, so they get reported for that too. But harassment is the one I always go to. As for what they're if you're not actually being volatile in the chat, I'm not sure what they're reporting him for, and I'm not sure it matters because it is my understanding that unless you get quite a few reports or they're noticing some kind of pattern with your play and how you are being reported, that you really won't notice any issues.
And they wait for patterns. There's been a couple of bans already, and people have come to the forums and said, why was I banned? Why can't I play for 4 days? And the majority of these people actually, across the story of the forum, learned they were wrong. It's kind of an amazing process. They suddenly realized what they were doing to people, how it could be perceived as awful. No, I didn't mean that statement like that. And it's like, well, we all read it that way. You have lived in a computer age here. You get text messages sometimes and you misinterpret them. So you're not going to go anywhere. It'd be great if there was an uninstall crew at Blizzard. Drive around in little geek mobiles, pull up to your house, force you to uninstall, break your screen like they do in those old movies where they bust someone's top hat. But it's not going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So I'm sure you'll be fine, Mystic Knight. I wouldn't worry too much. And I'm sure if the people reporting you are in there just cussing the paint off the walls, I have a feeling they've got quite a few reports on their account. So I'm sure that has to weigh in to the system in some way, shape, or form.
Definitely.
So, but nah, you'll be fine. I'm sure you'll be fine. As chat room's saying, the law of large numbers will equal everything out.
Exactly.
So. Got another email from Chris who writes, hey, Garrett and Kyle, recently I've gotten a lot of bad games with people who just completely ruin my game. I get mad quite easily, but you two seem really chill even when you're losing. You clearly haven't watched me play Heroes. Can you give me some tips on how to be chill in a bad game? Well, Chris, this is something I am trying really hard to be better at because I'm not good at staying chill when I'm losing a game.
No, but it's something you absolutely have. You have advanced leagues in your thought process.
I'm glad to hear that because I feel like I have, because I used to be really bad, like broken mice, really bad.
Right, but you may have backed off, breaking your mouse, breaking your controller, yelling at people in game, bringing down all the friends that are in the call. Like, those are all things that we can stop ourselves from doing. But inside, it's still the same awful turmoil, raging torrent in your chest that you just want to let out in any means possible.
Yeah.
And it's just about controlling yourself. Something that I do that helps me out a lot is I played a lot of Enfos in the past. This is like Castle Defense. These are custom games where the whole point of the game is endless waves come at your castle that you're defending.
Tower defense games.
Well, sort of, but you play as a hero. It's like MOBA, but it's, all cooperative. There's no other team.
Right.
And they get progressively harder, and until you just live as long as you can, and then it's over, and you enjoy how far you got. And so when I'm just 4 levels down, they're pushing my base, I make that distinction to say, I'm just playing a defense game now. Let's see what I can do. Let's see how many maws I can get off. What kind of combos maybe can get us back in this thing. How much hero damage I can really rack up above that Valla.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially, I've been playing so much Kael'thas lately that's exactly what I do. If I know we're losing, I'm just going to break the damage meters.
Yeah.
Every single person that gets in range of my living bomb is getting a living bomb. I don't care if it's a tank. It just becomes a game at that point for me. Like, I find a way to gamify it. If it's particularly bad, if everyone's being really volatile, or Valla-tile, as some of the folks in chat
Nice one, Muffin Pickle.
started calling it. I love that. That's great. I mute them, and I start thinking about the next game.
Yeah.
I just start thinking, I can't wait for the next game. What hero am I going to play if I have a choice? I'm going to go with this guy again. I'm going to try something different. Maybe I'm really excited about Zagara's freaking Hydralisk not going away after their target dies now, and Mutalisks are now insane for taking mercenary camps. How the hell did we not talk about this, by the way?
Oh, yeah, we didn't list that.
This.
I think we were just so excited when I told you that maybe, like a week ago now?
It's been like 2 days. It's been only 2 days.
Well, even so, Zagara, loving her. Loving Mutas right now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a wonderful change. Those freaking Hydralisks and Mutalisks, so much better now. So much better. I now jungle, man. I have never played any hero in Heroes of the Storm and jungled. And now I'm just in there, just like, I'm going to take all the mercenaries as Zagara.
She's fun. She's fun for sure. The other thing you can do is play with friends and don't bring them down. And when the game is over, the first thing I do is say what I did wrong. Because I want to have a conversation about it, but I don't want to put it on other people. Like, man, my auto attacks were awful. I was never targeting the right person. Most likely your friend in the call is going to say, yeah. Hopefully they don't say, yeah, you did. They actually say, yeah, I could have been targeting X better. And you guys have a little bit of camaraderie before you get back into the next one.
Yeah. No. Yeah, you did, Kyle. You did.
Hey, you're the one talking like you lose a lot on Kael'thas. You're at 80% right now, sir.
I'm aware. I'm
kind of a badass.
I'm pretty good at Kael'thas.
Yeah, dude.
I'm not going to lie.
Where's this coming from? It's great.
I've got quite a few heroes above is handily above the 50% win rate, which makes me very happy. But anyways, yeah, no, it's fine. I mean, if it is an issue for you, which it seems like you're aware, you need to be aware of it, and you need to just actively work on it. It's something I've been doing for a long time. I've noticed it's one of the main reasons my fiance doesn't want to try games with me. That was a huge reason for me to want to try and work on my competitive emotions a little better.
We actually have the opposite thing. Kristen is the extremely emotional one and gets scared of playing games with me because she doesn't want to drag me down because I have this tower defense history of like, whatever, we got as far as we could. It's all good
I
fun.
never thought of it that way. I guess that's why I like playing with her so much.
Maybe, but it's also important for me as the shy, quieter person in that situation to admit that you guys are blowing off steam. You're extroverts, you're high energy people. All these curses, these screw that guys over the voice chat, that's just part of you guys having fun, riding the emotions, enjoying the roller coaster of life.
And I feel like part of it too is this is just me personally. I feel like I got worse once I started working from home and I wasn't talking to people a lot during the day. And I just got loud and bombastic when I got on mic with folks.
And because you're an extrovert, you're a talkative person, and this is your chance to blow off energy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Without getting, too...
Folks, if you're relatively new to the show and you're like, Kyle, introverted, it's true. In public settings, you're usually the quiet guy. It's just, in podcasts, it's just me and you.
Right, yeah, there's no
the people listening, it's fine.
There's no stream counter. It's the lights and me.
We're not on the stage. Like, we're not actually aware.
Wait, I came from theater. Those lights help. They're shining right in your eyes. You can't see jack in that audience. It's great.
Oh, that's wonderful. Shut up, Visconde. He says, whoa. Garrett likes to talk? Nah.
I like that I'm Hal Pal's spirit animal. Would have made a very awkward movie. Everyone else is otters and polar bears and crap, and I'm just standing there.
Hey, guys. What are you? I'm Kyle.
Oh, yeah, I'm Kyle. No, well, I guess I'm a human for a human spirit.
I think it'd be better if you were Hal Pal's Patronus.
There we go. Oh, just a ghostly man who just runs out and like punches a Dementor.
Ah! Oh, it's so great. No, you come out slap fighting.
Yeah, there you go.
We Katie and I finished the Frieza saga on Dragon Ball Z today.
Oh, very nice.
I forgot about the very end of the fight when Goku just like repeatedly bitch slaps Frieza.
Oh yeah.
So good.
Wouldn't you though?
Oh, absolutely.
The guy's been a dick. He's been blowing up planets.
But also, if I was in Goku's shoes, I would have outright killed Frieza 10 episodes earlier.
Sure, I think that's why he's a hero, though.
Yeah, but rewatching it, man, like, and I know this is off topic, but after we're nearing the end of the show, I'm gonna get off topic and talk a little Dragon Ball Z because I've been having fun with it. We don't have a random podcast anymore. Rewatching it, I don't understand Goku, man, because like Krillin bites it, and he's just like, "That's it, gloves are off. I'm gonna kill you, Frieza," and then he gives Frieza like 3 more opportunities to walk away. It's just like, well, now that rage that you had last episode is just kind of like doesn't seem as weighty anymore.
I've been making my way through Batman Arkham City, the older video game, but I never ended up finishing it.
I love that. Well, I love all of them. I even enjoyed the one that wasn't made by Rocksteady and had some severe bugs, but the story was great.
My last playthrough, I got 2% in, and it was in 2013. I had just played Assassin's Creed 2, and I had just finished Batman, the Arkham Island or whatever the heck it was, the first one. And I was not ready for another counterplay game. 2 years in the future, I'm loving this thing. But, kill the Joker, and you're not so noble, Batman, with your bat launcher that looks like a gun. I've seen your new video game where you have a tank. That's a gun.
He's always had the Batmobile. The Batmobile has always had weapons, and he's always used them strategically, not fatally.
Of course. And when
unless you're watching Tim Burton Batman, where he just outright kills people constantly.
And when I use my my hook shot to shoot up to the top building and stealth pull someone off and they fall 5 feet, that is also non-lethal.
It's Batman.
Yeah, heroes are gonna have some problems with that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
You punch them 5 times in the groin, they grab their head. Oh.
Those games are so good, man. That fighting system is amazing. And I don't think I'm sick of it yet, even after playing a bunch of games that ripped it off. Like Shadow of Mordor uses pretty much the same system. It's not as polished. I mean, Batman does it the best because they're the ones that come up with it. But
well, and you can believe Batman being that much of a badass, and those counters are cool. So
absolutely, he's a ninja. He's a professionally trained bat ninja.
That's true.
But Bat Ninja wasn't as catchy of a name.
Batman's pretty lame, but we have a lot of history now.
Yeah.
So is Superman. I mean, all those hero names are pretty lame. Iron Man, really? Like, you're practically Copper Man at that point.
I feel like Iron Man is a cool name. So it feels almost like a torture device or something from the Inquisition.
I might be a little more afraid of Steel Man.
That doesn't sound as cool. Iron. Whatever.
It's gritty. I agree.
Let's take one more email, then we'll end the show and head into a patron game. What do you think?
Sounds good.
Micro13 wrote in and basically asked if MMR Purgatory exists. So if you're unfamiliar with MMR, it's your matchmaking rank. This is the hidden number that we cannot see that Heroes of the Storm uses to match you with similarly skilled opponents. And Micro13 is wondering if there is a MMR Purgatory from which there is no escape. Another long email that if you would like to read all of will be in the show notes over at amove.tv/ITN. But to get into the meat of it, Micro13 writes, my MMR in Hero League is 1200. And this is a hidden number, by the way. So I'm assuming Micro13 is looking at his MMR on HotSlogs.
Correct.
Which is the only place where we can get an idea of what our MMR is. But this is based off of HotSlog system. He says, I have a friend who is 3000. When I play with him, our collective MMR shoots up, and I'm facing other teams around 2,500, as well as my own team being 2,500. Those games are fun, competitive. I'm not super frustrated because people are diving towers, not going for objectives, and taking mercs at all the wrong times. The games are just better. But then I go back to solo queue, and it's an instant cluster F. I can't play with my buddy all the time, so I have no idea how to get out of this rut. Do I just wait for the new season to start and get placed? How do I handle solo queue with a bunch of people that don't know the first thing about what they are doing? Look forward to your opinion. Love the show. Thanks for all you do. I feel like I'm in a similar boat, man. I mean, I'm up in the low 2000s at the moment on HotSlogs. And some of the stuff I'm seeing in my games, like you can't help it. You cannot help but sit there and just be like, why am I matched with this person? I would never do this. Why am I getting matched with people who think this is how you play the game?
Right. Blizzard has addressed this issue for Heroes League specifically, saying that their current system is a little too in love with Hearthstone. Now, they have said that, rank 1 is the top 2% of players. Rank 50, you are the bottom 2% of players. The problem is that your MMR may not be entirely filled out in the background, and your Heroes League won't be a representation of your skill. So you'll get in, you're rank 10, and you see your team after the game is made up of rank 30s. Your MMRs are apparently similar, but your experiences, what you've dumped into the game, is not similar. They may be on a winning streak that's throwing them off.
Yeah. It's just strange. Yeah, it's the system seems really flawed at the moment. And we've heard no news of the ladder reset and proper season 1 starting. And again, entitled gamer Garrett here. Really stoked with the new stuff that has come out. But damn it, I want a ladder reset in the worst way.
And we're going to get it. We've said 3 weeks ago that it was going to be 2 months out when they were going to come up with the technology and implement it for matchmaking. Is that still coming? We actually haven't heard anything across all these interviews, so I'm starting to think it might have been delayed past that 2-month mark. But they're working on the technology, apparently. You are going to play maybe even up to 5 or 7 placement matches before you get your very first Heroes League. There's no longer going to be a 50 to 40 you can't lose any points system. You will just be placed in where they think you go after those match games. And we're all a little excited about that. Also, the chat brings up a great point. When you play with someone who is higher MMR than you, your points that you get for winning the game in Heroes League, ignore those. Your MMR is not advancing very much. Getting together a big group of people, you're 1,200, all your friends are 3,000. If you all grinded out games, you're basically the lower level hero in this situation. You're not getting a ton of bonus MMR off of this.
Yeah, it's just super strange. I don't know. I'm not sure what the answer is. I personally, and I agree with chat. I think it's Clown Baby. I can't quite read that colored teal in the chat room. StarCraft ladder system. The closer we get to that, I think the happier I'll be.
It's a 1v1 system though. You have to. There's a lot of variables in here when you get 5-on-5.
Still, I feel like I like the league system better. I don't. I'm not in love with the Hearthstone rank grind, and by extension, clearly not in love with the Heroes of the Storm, rank number ladder grind.
Right, but you have to admit, Hearthstone works. If everyone had the same amount of time to play, and let's say, all the streamers and pro players were cut off at the same hours as the casual players, they would still get further.
Yeah.
And the numbers would still basically come up the same.
Well, to a point, man. I disagree. Like, I feel like there's a lot of players out there who are probably on the same level as a lot of pros, and they just don't have the hours to put in.
Sure.
It takes a lot of damn time to grind up the Hearthstone ladder at the moment.
Oh, and so does Heroes League and Heroes of the Storm, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Which I think it'll be better for Heroes because they said that it's going to be longer than a 1-month period for a season.
Right. We're looking at 3 months, really.
Yeah, but you're also looking at more ranks.
Yeah.
Starting at 50. But obviously we're going to be placed. So it sounds to me, everything they've said on paper looks great. I'm looking forward to it. That's part of the reason I'm so impatient. It sounds really good in theory.
A conversation I had to have recently with Ben, because he gives me art lessons. I trade him Heroes of the Storm lessons. So we've been talking, and one of the things that is tough for him, he feels like he's also in this MMR hell. But you can't learn a new hero and advance your MMR at the same time. So there are some things you can do. Check out HOTS logs. Really keep yourself honest. Look at those percentages. I love playing a couple heroes that are in there at 33%. As fun as they are, I don't need those 4 or 5 heroes that aren't winning me anything to be good in Heroes League. I've got guys that can replace them. It's a little more boring, perhaps, but what's more important to me right now is advancing my MMR. So go with what wins. That's going to get you out of there quicker. Play by yourself. Continue to work on your actual play and try to ignore all this.
Yeah. I agree, man.
If your win percentage is up, you're going to advance. And it's hard work, but that's the way it is.
Yep.
I did get masters in my quick match though this week, so
I don't know how that is possible. My quick matches are such a cluster. It's ridiculous.
the difference is really I have a lot of self-sustain heroes I like to play in quick match, whereas Heroes League is actually the more complicated place for me because I come from Dota. I'm used to these long lane phases being very self-supportive with my item builds, my gold spending, my farming, and whatnot. Heroes League is more like the actual Dota professional scene where things are executed as a team, and that's something I have to wrap my head around.
Right. Well, or wipe it.
Yeah,
Whatever, whatever helps your head, man.
whatever I got to do,
Yeah. So, well, hopefully it helps. Got some links in the show notes for you. Check it out. And thanks everyone for writing in. That's gonna do it for this week's episode. Thanks again to our patrons. Holy crap, we just hit $1,000 a month. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Keep an eye out for our casted games and our dressed to the nine bodies.
There you go.
Suits, man. Which it means it's hot in Florida, so probably not gonna actually wear pants because you won't be able to see below the waist. It'll be great.
Yeah, but most newscasters don't have pants. Let's be honest here. Only the weather people have to keep that on.
That's a very good point. Also, thanks to those of you who are leaving us reviews in the iTunes store. 5-star reviews help us a lot. We really do appreciate it. Thanks to the Sarp who says, "That's no moon. It's a podcast." Finally.
Nice.
That's my portfolio website reference. Also, thank you to TY Monger, and thank you to Red Flag Warning who says, "You had me at infested Lily." Lily. Love it. I want an infested Lily, man.
Oh, that would be, yeah.
Bring it. Into the Nexus is produced by amove.tv and our Patreon producers, Declan H. and Edward L. Thank you guys so much for your support. You can see more about this and all of our shows over on amove.tv. Our email is itncast@gmail.com. We are subreddit where you can go post to possibly win one of these Heroes of the Storm vinyl figurines is itncast.reddit.com. All of our old episodes, videos, and other stuff can be found on youtube.com/starcastshow. Also, check us out live. Join the chat room every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/AMUTV or over on alphageekradio.com for the mobile stream. Our Twitter is @ITNcast, and thanks to BrianGriffithMusic.com for our intro music. Kyle, where can folks find you?
You can find me at kyleferguson.com, where I write Dungeons and Dragons articles. You can find me Tuesdays on the AMove stream, twitch.tv/AMoveTV. That is my solo Q&A. This past week, I wasn't solo. I cheated a little bit. Had Kristen on playing Butcher while I supported her, but it was a good show nonetheless. That is posted over on the YouTube. Check out the live show. Next week, I will be returning to Heroes League in a solo capacity.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and follow me on Twitter, @KyleFerguson.
Nice. People should do that. You can follow me at Garrett Art. You can find me at nomoonart.com. That's no moon. It's nomoonart.com. And also on The Angry Chicken, talking about Hearthstone. Check it out. Just because we aren't running ads anymore doesn't mean these codes aren't any less awesome. Check out doghousesystems.com where the code ITN will get you a 120 gigabyte solid state drive added onto your gaming rig. It's great. Love it. Have one in mine. It's very nice. Check out tweakedaudio.com as well, where the same code ITN will get you 30% off and free shipping on your entire order of noise reducing earbuds. Kyle and I have quite a few of these we've accrued over the years. We like them. They're nice. Sound good.
They're awesome. I don't think we
have bass for a freaking head earbud, which is nice.
Yeah. The non-tangles in your pockets.
Oh, the flat non-tangle wires. I love them.
Very durable.
Absolutely love them.
We don't spend much time talking about our sponsors anymore, but honestly, Tweaked Audio.
Nice.
Sends things across the pond. Do it.
Yep. And this computer right there, Doghouse Systems.
Yeah.
Focus, you damn camera.
Oh man, I'm gonna need such an upgrade. If E3 showed me anything, it's that my computer is going to be out of date.
What game is the one that you're just like, ooh?
I mean, Fallout's just gonna destroy my machine for one.
Will it? Because it doesn't look any prettier than any other Bethesda game.
Did you not see the press event? There's some pretty looking stuff in there.
Did you see the textures that look like they're from last generation?
You're talking about the trailer, man. Go check out the actual gameplay footage.
I'm talking about everything I saw. It looks like Fallout 3.
Well, then maybe we can both agree that I will need an upgrade for the new Mass Effect game.
That, yes. I think it'll be fine for Fallout. It's not that pretty.
Man, if Dragon Age Inquisition destroyed my machine. I managed to get through it, but
The spell effects in that are pretty intense, I gotta say.
yeah, there's a lot going on.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Tomb Raider. Sexy. Although Uncharted will be PlayStation only, so it's not like you'll have to worry about your computer.
Yeah, as long as I don't turn on the Tress FX hair effects.
Oh,
That thing was just awful.
Oh, yeah. They have something very similar to that in The Witcher 3. And same thing. I turned that on and just my rig just like chug-a-lug-a-lug, man. It's rough. And which is funny because the hair that they made in that game that aren't using the crazy effects look great in The Witcher 3. So
Yeah.
it's not even that big of an upgrade if you use the crazy, weird simulated hair thing.
A lot of those extra tacked on things seem like either, they were negotiated in or just kind of left because, yeah, why not? Top end people will like this.
Yeah. Yeah. Alrighty, that's going to do it for this show. We'll see you guys next week for episode 58 of Into the Nexus. Until then, good luck. Have fun.
Take care.